So now let's get started running code in the Python interpreter. For this class, you don't need to install any new software. You can run Python right in your web browser. And you should see something like this in your web browser once the video stops. There are two parts to this. There's the environment where you can edit code. So let's type code to print 3. So print is a Python command that prints something out. And then after the print, we can have any expression we want that is valid Python. And we'll talk more about what expressions are in Python. Now we're just going to print the number 3. And when we click run, it will run this code and show us the result down here. And the result of printing 3, we see the output 3. We can do more interesting things. So we can print an arithmetic expression. So I've got 1 plus 1. Now we run this. We see both outputs. So first we printed 3. We see the 3 here. Then we printed 1 plus 1. We see the result of 1 plus 1 is 2. We can write this more clearly by having spaces. We can have spaces between the parts of our expressions. So we can have 1 plus 1 with spaces between there. That's a little easier to read. When we run that, we see the same result. The result's still 2. And we can make more and more complex expressions. So let's print the result of 52 times 3 plus 12 times 9. This will print out the result of multiplying 52 times 3 and adding that to multiplying 12 times 9. And we get 264. You can check that yourself to see that Python got the right answer. We can use parentheses to group expressions. So if we use parentheses, we can do what we did before, but putting parentheses around grouping the multiplications and grouping the other multiplication. When we run this, we see the same result. Without the parentheses, that means the same thing as we had when we add the parentheses like this. If we put the parentheses in different places, it means something different. Now what it means is 52 times the result of adding 3 plus 12, which is 15 times 9. And so we get the result 7020. So we can combine any expressions that we want like this. For example, if we wanted to compute the number of seconds in a year, we could compose many multiplications. So we'll multiply 365 days times 24 hours in a day times 60 minutes in an hour times 60 seconds in a minute. We can do all those multiplications together and we get this result, which is about 31.5 million seconds in a year. So now it's time for your first programming quiz. You've seen enough to be able to write a Python program. And your goal is to write a Python program that prints out the number of minutes there are in 7 weeks, which is the amount of time we have for this course. You'll do that by entering your code in here, and then you can try different things. You can try running the code, see the result, and then when you've got an answer, you can click to submit that answer and see if it's correct. So there are lots of different ways you could have solved this. You need to use the print command to print out the result. And then we want an expression that calculates the number of minutes in 7 weeks. There's 7 weeks. Each week has 7 days. So we can have 7 times 7 for the number of days. Then to get the number of minutes, we need to multiply that by 24 to get the number of hours. And then multiply again by 60. That should give us the number of minutes. So let's see that in the Python interpreter. And now we hit run, and we see that we have 70,560 minutes. Seems like a lot of time. It's going to go pretty quick, and we hope by the end of the 7 weeks, all of you will be accomplished Python programmers.